abusuafo me mama kwa baba daily update TV. Send any day dika ya oba channel issue. I'm sure say oba tap on the subscribe button. Now fancy so what tap on the notification bell. Send a bear. Once I new video be a debe to channel issue. Now want to information ni bi ate. Oba to me so do adwenture afat comment section and so your budget ni akenkan ewa hama. Nche bia na your president na Addo dankwa Akufo-Addo Akroma State of the Nation address na all chese Ghana lawyer penny a oda Ghana anim a odi Ghana yemransem mu nyina ho adwuma emaye Mr. Godfred Dame a save Ghana your judgment debt about 10 trillion Ghana cedis na president ewie State of the Nation address ana eja nsentwerefo kubisa Mr. Godfred Dame say Akufo-Addo say what save Ghana about 10 trillion Ghana cedis Yenkonkotie lawyer say Osheda anoma ye president wrong figure send a bill or be misled Ghana. Yenkonkotie audio ni bi.
Captain there. Na nda munti asem yesi we de moment fan fifem ni ehu de ekọ. Hwe de ekọ eye mo Attorney General aka asem bi. Na Addo dankwa Akufo-Addo be kasa enra obey concert ni wie no. Obe ready the state of the day no. Ena Akufo-Addo ni speech mu no say Attorney General is save Ghana 10 trillion. E go for chimi o before we on. Na Addo Akufo-Addo agove be gina we no. The obeka che say Attorney General no document order be to the nim no e kire say Attorney General is save Ghana 10 trillion. Na ni nyina ne say o say Attorney General no judgment debt anka o say Ghana e ka anka o say ebo ayetua no otuma stop ni nyina 10 trillion. Hey go for we 10 trillion Ghana cedis Attorney General we na e save inti nyina no na ade chi ye na ekobusa Attorney General say oh na Addo dankwa Akufo-Addo say we save Ghana 10 trillion. Na asem no one na wo chiro because before the president speaks on anything, say Okasa Afa Energy one, the Energy Ministry will have to produce a document to prove to Akufo-Addo say, in fact, Mr. President, this is the document, these are the facts, you can speak on it. President Onjina Hon Kasakeke, in this OTA State of the Nation, every figure the president gives out, every statement he makes, it has been verified 1,000 times. And it's a president abegina ho na okan seminar later ko hu say tra then it means it's a president no and that department and that ministry no person no they deliberately decided to lie to you because they think you are stupid. Enti Akufo-Addo ebegina parliament here oye no and the join is for call Attorney General say oh Akufo-Addo say we save here 10 trillion Ghana cedis. Now, Mumienti Attorney General so explanation to Asame Akufo-Addo kan.
The savings that the president announced were actually an underestimation. The president grossly underestimated it, and it was actually my doing because every minister has a responsibility of bringing to the president's attention the work that the minister has done. And in presenting my report, I deliberately understated the account, just not to raise unnecessary eyebrows and to be unnecessary sensational. But if you go through 10 trillion is just arising in a single case. If you go through, the savings are actually over 14 billion. 14 trillion. Yes. I can refer to this matter, China Jinleng, which the Supreme Court set aside only last year. The judgment debt here, if you look at the figure here, originally, and then all the time, Ghana it was in the High Court of Justice, I think in Kumasi or so. The transport minister actually came here, made a lot of noise about it because it affected his account and all. And we took it up and compared to situations where ministers and the also administration will team up and orchestrate and facilitate judgment debts. It's this amount of 352 billion. So that the figures are even dizzy. You can't even 352 million Ghana cedis. 352,662,144.41 pesos. And then an amount of almost $1 billion, $988 million, 294,313. That is it. So almost $1 billion plus 325 million Ghana cedis. So the Supreme Court again in 2022, after 2023, yeah, in the conclusion, says the application before the court that we have quashed the ruling given was expressly to set aside the Ghana share order and without prejudice making the consequential setting aside order, and they granted the order quashing all these proceedings. And interestingly, in this judgment, the court actually held that, as we contended, that the persons who had mounted the action even had no capacity whatsoever, and the identities could not be made out. A person
this is the Attorney General of Ghana. President, they say, you, the Attorney General, you saved us 10 trillion. The Attorney General sits on national television to say he deliberately gave the president wrong figure so that it doesn't raise unnecessary eyebrows. Na emomuno, onumomu save 14 trillion. This is Ghana lawyer Penyini. And the president was about to go on TV to speak to the nation. And indirectly, we have given you a job to do. And Wabetina TV, so he's telling you that, you know, the president grossly understated. In fact, I deliberately, me sheda, and 14 trillion, me yen 10 trillion. Really? Like, are you kidding me? Attorney General, no, Etubitina TV, so, Eka se, we save the 14 trillion. The president didn't know Beka or share then or my president say Omeka 10 trillion. And he's telling us, oh, Sika was saving in our court. In some requiring DB. And you sit there and you ask yourself, now we nipa. And how low go for the politics aba? Now, in the first place, Attorney General, what are your losses? Since you became Attorney General of Ghana, Sika send ye losing through judgment debt. Nancy Antiana $300 million in the Ekoye. So the question is, you are telling us to say the president said you have saved us 10 trillion. And you are telling us you gave the president wrong figures, but the real figure is 14 trillion. And we're asking you, what are your losses? Now, the whole thing we are talking about here, and I say it's a joke. The Attorney General has been given a job to do. And his job is to save and make sure Obi Muyemfaso is to use the law to protect the sovereign state, to protect us, to protect our assets, to protect the citizens, to protect Ghana. And you, Attorney General, that is your job. And to say Attorney General Petro Kachere say, ya fan is our watchman. I'll make sure say Obia refio TV Ghana. Now at the end of the day, no, Adiachi. Na so be a mura if you are. I was say Attorney General no catch say yambona baso. But you are paid to man the door. You are paid to protect the door. Give us security. That is why every month you are paid. You are given a car, you are given a house, you are given women, you are given salaries. But then Attorney General comes out to tell us to say, I have done well. President today with Jimmy Man 10 million but I have done 14 trillion. The question here is, now what are your losses? So now you are telling us to say, as we sit here, you can cook fraudulent documents and give to the president to read to us. Then it means you yourself, the document you gave to the president might not be a legitimate document. It means you lied. You are a lawyer, for crying out loud. You are the Attorney General, for crying out loud. Every single statement that comes from you should be factual. So when you tell us that the president understated, but you have the original thing by you because you don't want to raise eyebrows. Whose eyebrows are you raising here? Are you foolish? Whose eyebrows are you trying to raise? Nobody's eyebrows. The president is supposed to talk to us, and you feed the president with wrong information, and you foolishly sit on TV to admit that, yes, you deliberately did it. Hey, wait a minute. What kind of Attorney General are you? How did you law ban Usiaye? Where is your integrity? Where is your integrity as an Attorney General? I am shocked. In fact, when I heard this, I was shocked. I was like, This guy, these are statements and this kind of statement. So you have led the president to mislead the country. That's it. You have misled the president to mislead the country. Two misleads here. You misled the president, and then the president came to mislead us, because when the president says something, we know they are factual. And these fools are running through our court, paying their way out and saying, yes, we are the landed. The man basically on TV is telling Ghanaians, I misled the president, and the president misled you, and that I have the right figures. How? So tomorrow, this Attorney General will go and sit and sign a contract for Ghana, and then somebody, a government institution will sign a contract with another country, and this same Attorney General will be the one to review it. He will review it today, and tomorrow come tell us, oh, the review I reviewed. What I did was, because there was a reason why I put this in there, because I didn't want to raise eyebrows. This man is a criminal. There is no integrity. These are not people who are supposed to lead the Attorney General's office. No, listen to him. He said he deliberately gave the president wrong figures. Jesus.
The savings that the president announced were actually an underestimation. The president grossly underestimated it. And it was actually my doing. Because every minister has a responsibility of bringing to the president's attention the work that the minister has done. And in presenting my report, I deliberately understated the account, just not to raise minister has done. And in presenting my report, I deliberately understated the account, just not to raise unnecessary eyebrows and to be unnecessary sensational. Mr. has done. And in presenting my report, I deliberately understated the account, just not to raise unnecessary eyebrows.
Jesus Christ! Is this guy a lawyer? This is Ghana's Attorney General. Oh, so he's deliberately doing things. Sorry. He's deliberately misleading the president to mislead us. There was the international community there watching, listening. And you, the Attorney General, the senior lawyer of this country, you sit on TV and say you deliberately misled the president. Now, you see, I said to now, before 2017, I made a documentary about Ekufuado. Ekufuado, I'm a lawyer. Then got a great picture.
Now let's say some more with the man Nana Dankwa Ekufuado, who is Ghana's current president. Let's share a few things that we know about him. In 1979, President Ekufuado co-founded the law firm Ekufuado Prempeh & Co., which has become one of the prominent law firms in Ghana. Now, during his heydays as a lawyer, President Ekufuado used his law practice to champion the cause of human rights, rule of law, justice, freedom, and democracy. Now, here's a profile of President Ekufuado as a lawyer.
He was the personal lawyer of the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II.
Freedom and democracy. Now, here's a profile of President Ekufuado as a lawyer.
He was the personal lawyer of the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II. He was the personal lawyer of the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II. He was the personal lawyer of the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II.
Nana Ekufuado is my personal lawyer.
That MVP way, why not go for buy? Nana do Dankwa Ekufuado Otumfuo personal lawyer. Nana Piao, hey, Otumfuo Nana Otumfuo domi. Eti kadembe kenyina mejai. He was the personal lawyer of Otumfuo Osei II. Nana do Dankwa Ekufuado ada Ghana fo. Ghana for make we trouble. Politics now go for anymore, you know. Omu Jimmy mo. Ghana, your last chance, any chance we are money. If you guys don't change the MPP, Ghana will be like Rwanda. Someone to change the MPP where you will be like Chad. Sa Ghana for de bia moka se nyame doye, nyame wayafa. This is the time I also move se nyame domo. And as of one penny for ne imams in penny for more Ghana, omo bom paye no kuremu no omunim say God has given us only one lifeline, one. And if we fool again and hand power over to Bawumia, any MPP, let's say, my member video no na mo hwe omo say Kufuado the history 2017 obedi president no ne bio ni mo hwe.
Now let's say some more with the man Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who is Ghana's current president. Let's share a few things that we know about him. In 1979, President Akufo-Addo co-founded the law firm Akufo-Addo, Prempeh & Co., which has become one of the prominent law firms in Ghana. Now, during his heydays as a lawyer, President Akufo-Addo used his law practice to champion the cause of
for Madam Assisa Moje Brena Modisha video. Michelle say, baby, I do so when you subscribe to my page, corner cost subscribe my page. Let's tap on the notification bell. Then be the video be after be out to ja. I dem update about your Ghana politics. Musu benye be ati. That was it. That crowd.